there, welcome to another episode of World of Tanks with Guinea Titan, and I'm just looking at that tanker outside there off the coast, Halluff in the starting image, and I'm just thinking, well, that's what World War II oil tankers look like. I think that's later. I think most of the World War II era tankers, and right up until, I don't know, sure exactly when, probably the rise of containers in the 60s and 70s, tended to have the bridge amidships. I'm not sure when the bridge became predominantly in the rear. Certainly something that happened by the 70s. I remember seeing images of new tankers in the 70s, and they definitely had the bridge in the rear. Anyway, we're on Halluff, part of our limited rotation of maps, although they have expanded it to include mines and port. But mines and port at tier 8s, 9 and 10. I've been seeing it in tier 8, it's bad enough. Tier 9 and 10, it's a bit of a nightmare. Mines in particular is a nightmare at tier 10. You can be essentially detected in the spawn zone right at the start of the game. However, it's nice to see the detection range now back into the map on the mini-map, so we can now see how far we can detect. Not sure if these values are dynamic, so I'm not sure if they reflect things like I don't know, the consumption of food. Didn't check actually. Or if they reflect things like bushes. Will the bushes change your detection range, or your detection range? You can see what your spotting range is. Anyhow, we were waiting for the enemies to put on their brave pants and actually make a dash for the corner, and here we are, the FE 4201 A45, which I'll get the opportunity to put a few rounds into. So we have, we have our, what do you call it? Not sure what they call this mechanism. It's not quite an auto loader. It's a kind of an auto reload. I think, yeah, this was referred to auto reloader. So we're going to try for the commander's hatches in the T-32, and we hit the little one. We actually managed to penetrate, which came as a bit of a surprise to me actually when I was watching the replay, because I didn't realise that I had done it, or even that it was possible. I was trying to hit the big one. However, we have managed to get a few rounds in. We've done a little bit of damage. We have some brave soul pushing forward. I think he's gone a bit too far forward for this state of the game. There seems to be quite a few enemies around, and we're shot in the ass. There's an M41 Walker Bulldog, which has been prowling the edge of the ridgeline there for quite a while, but I hadn't noticed. But I felt that I had to give pursuit. I felt this guy could not be allowed to harass our rear zone with impunity, so somebody had to go after him, and I was actually not in a bad position to do it because I have a reasonably fast tank, and with the reload mechanism sometimes I can get multiple shots out. Now one of our other tanks has come down and actually managed to finish him off, but it has given the enemy the chance to just take that ridgeline position as Carnarvon and the Balfourion are moving forward. So I thought, right, I have a full clip to reload. It's time to actually get out of here and take a long step backwards and go back to the kind of secondary support position. Now I got tracked, which held me in place long enough for the Balfourion to get a round off, and I'm actually just making for the rear. So up here where these tanks are actually already deployed in front of me is actually a very good KV-13, a very good secondary position, because you can come back here and you can actually shoot the tanks on the ridgeline like the Centurion from here. So I can put a round into the lower front plate of the Centurion, and okay, we bounced that one. That actually hit the upper glacis, and we take a bit more care and we actually get another round into the lower front plate as well. But what I need to be now is actually much further to my left as I'm facing the screen, actually down along the one line, to shoot at those tanks that are coming around on that side, because that's probably the biggest threat, not the Carnarvon, although I can drive across here and wait until I get the red, which indicates that I have a direct line of sight to the front of the Carnarvon, and I'm probably better off aiming that shot. I managed to bounce a shot there, probably just hit either the upper glacis or the turret, which should be quite strong on the Carnarvon. So I've come around here. However, in the time that we've come back, and I think probably from the assistance, the fairly alert assistance of the three tanks, we've managed to turn the tide, and we've actually managed to gain a considerable advantage over the enemy. The IS-3 is retreating back around the corner. because he doesn't want to be shot at from long range. And our three buddies were racing forward. Insofar as a Churchill 7 and an AT7 can race, even with the assistance of the KV-13, I don't think you can get out. I don't think the KV-13 is doing any good, should we say, trying to push the AT7, because the AT7 is just so heavy that it's being slowed down without actually probably giving the AT7 any significant boost, maybe a kilometre or two. I am perfectly confident that IS-3 is a dead tank, driving around, and in fact we could probably, some of the faster tanks should probably be better off if they just skip it and move in, try and finish off or gain other opportunities rather than hanging around. Okay, admittedly they're probably a little bit excited at this stage, and it is a low risk proposition at this point because the IS-3 just won't get the reloads. Won't last long enough to get the reloads off. Now I'm coming to the support of this heavy tank here, who's probably pinned down because getting out of that ravine that the heavy tank is in is actually a very difficult position. It's actually easy enough to get up there, but it can be a hell of a job to get out because you can find yourself just pinned down from different angles. So we've got the P-43 here, and we're going to finish him off. Now there is another tank high in the ridgeline of Dragon, I think, who has a pretty good gun. But I'm going to stay low here. My biggest threat actually is the artillery. Now, but the artillery is going to have a hard time shooting me on a reverse slope. It's going to be very large dispersion down the hill, up and down the hill in that direction. So it's a good chance. It's very low risk. But however, I'm in the open here and I'm exposed to the medium tank. So I need to get eyes on the defenders. There's a Diamondback. We've taken another hit from the Dragon, and there is the artillery. And now I'm giving our own artillery and some of my teammates that are finally beginning to arrive on the scene an opportunity. So we're starting to get some spotting damage. Diamondback is facing this way, so come around here, I might get shot by both of them. Could get tracked, and that'd be the end of me. That was a big hit, and I think he's taking an artillery hit as well because I think his tracks were down there for a moment, which allows me to get around behind him, and I'm just going to empty the clip in. He's going to be taking fire from the front as well, although probably only one tank has made it up this far to actually, I'm just waiting for the reload. Put a round in, but don't quite manage to kill it. The artillery doesn't manage to kill it either, or track it. Just a little bit too far away. So, wait for the reload. Here it comes, and that's it, finished off. So now there's only one tank remaining. And we've managed to basically get everybody. I'm safe enough. I mean, I can take the hit, and I will probably have the second clip reloaded by the time I spot him. And yes, we see him. By the time I fire, I actually get the second round reloaded, and I would have had the third one available. And the game just ends when the original model fades away and it was supposed to be replaced by the damaged version, which doesn't appear. So you have this two burning fires in an empty desert. So, Ungainly Titan number 1. Best in game with 3 kills, 3,485, best in game. Got a little bit of assisted damage, didn't even manage to block something. 158 blocked, probably from the tracks. We got a number 1. Number 1s are actually not terribly difficult, 1596, nearly 1600 XP for a first class mastery. The Ace Tankard was very difficult to get in this, probably around the 1800 2000 mark, I would say. I reckon if I stick with it I'll get one, and I don't think I have one in that tank, so I think I might just stick with it. However, I will catch you again soon. Take care and see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please press like, comment, share. It really helps the channel out, and if you have not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.